How goes it, everyone? It is I, once again, Mr. Cinema Junkie, and not a whole lot's been going on lately. I've been checking out a few movies on Netflix, caught a few interesting titles. First off, I caught one called Saint Nick, which, I don't know, I kind of have a thing for movies that take the whole Santa Claus story and turn it on its ear. And this one was pretty interesting. Basically presenting a side of the story that I had never heard of before. Um, they show an actual saint who comes into town on a horse and collects tribute from the villagers and I guess kills whoever doesn't give him what he wants. Uh, the villagers revolt and wind up burning him and his henchmen on a boat. Then, centuries later, the tale of Saint Nick is that he returns and pretty much just lays waste to people. Um, it was a little different from some of the ones that I had seen along those lines. There's one more coming up that I want to check out, but I'm kind of tempted to wait till the Christmas holidays because I've been watching the same Christmas type movies every year. You know, Black Christmas, um, Silent Night, Deadly Night, stuff like that. This was different, so I might add this to the list. Interesting, definitely worth a watch. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Recently I caught Wakewood. Now this one, I had heard a couple of mixed reviews on it, so I decided to check it out for myself. I liked it. I actually liked it. It put me in the mind of a few different movies. The Dunwich Horror, Wicker Man, and Pet Cemetery. Little elements from each I could kind of see in each of these in this movie. It's basically about a couple who lose their daughter due to a dog attack, and the father is a veterinarian, and they go to Wakewood and find out that there is a pagan ritual that will bring their daughter back to them for 3 days. Uh, but there's like certain rules that apply to this ritual, and one of them is that she cannot have been buried more than a year. In this case, their daughter was buried more than a year, but they decide to lie about it just so they have the opportunity to see their daughter again. And of course, you don't follow the rules, shit happens. So it was interesting. It was good. I recommend it. Give it a look if you're into that type of movie. Um, yeah, it's pretty damn good. And the third one that I saw was one that I had heard a couple of things about. I was kind of on the line as to whether I was going to watch it or not, but I'm glad I did. Um, the thing is that in the menu for Netflix, it's listed as the Snowtown Murders, but it seems like on the cover, the movie cover, is just called Snowtown. Uh, but either way, Snowtown or the Snowtown Murders, it's based on a true story of a serial killer who basically goes after. It seems like he goes after like child molesters and pedophiles at first, but then it seems like whoever he decides is unsavory, like junkies, and then people who he feels that can rat him out and go to the authorities with certain things. Very interesting story. A little disturbing at times. Some of the it jumps right off the bat. It goes into like a whole thing about this pedophile that lives across the street from these three boys, and you know that he's up to something with the three of them, and the mother completely goes batshit over that, and she meets this guy who torments this this person that lives across the street, until he moves out. That had a certain sense of normalcy to it. I think a lot of people would have reacted that way. But then you see that he's got kind of this really dark side to him. And yeah, it culminates to him like killing and getting people to help him to kill these people. Because I guess he does it under the guise of doing the right thing. So it gets pretty dark pretty quick. There were, like I said, there were a couple of scenes that kind of made me like, oh, kind of like this older brother kind of picks on the younger brother. I mean, he's kind of like kicking him and hitting him and telling him to get up out of bed and stuff. And I figured he was just being an asshole until he wrestles him to the ground and pretty much rapes him. Yeah, so it was that was a little unnerving, but I do recommend it. I do. I love movies that are based on true stories, that are real close to true stories, not just taking little elements and blowing them way out of proportion. This one I think was really close to being based on the actual story. So definitely check that out as well. Snowtown or the Snowtown Murders. Also, Saint Nick and Wakewood. Check those out if you have Netflix streaming. If not, look for them on DVD. I'm sure they're not too hard to find. That's it for now. Just want to give you guys a quick update. Haven't been around much. Had a few things going on. Little minor surgery. So I've been on painkillers and stuff for about the past week. So I'm pretty cool there. You know, just feeling okay now. So thanks. But yeah, I'll be back ASAP with more movies. I'm watching them as fast as possible. I just picked up. Well, I did pick up 2 movies yesterday. A Darker Reality, which has a very interesting story behind it. Not the movie, but the reason I got it. And Ravenous. I found Ravenous for $3.99 brand new at Walgreens. And I couldn't pass that up. It's like one of my favorite cannibal movies. I haven't seen it in forever. So $3.99 on DVD. Sure, I'll take that. As far as the other movie, the reason I got that was because months ago, before my trip to Texas, I had taken some games to a pawn shop just to get a little pocket money. And I also took some games to sell. And I told them, I want to sell these, I want to pawn these. And over the months, I've been extending the loan. I have to pay like $5 a month to extend it. So yesterday, I finally said, you know what, I'm going to take them out, get them out finally. And I went and gave them the money for it. And they came back with 5 Nintendo DS games, the ones that were supposed to be sold. And I said, no, not these. The other ones, the PS3, the Xbox games. And they looked it up, and they're like, well, those were sold. So, don't know how they did that. They mixed them up, but they sold my games. So I was a little upset. The guy gave me the money back that I gave him for the DS, and he said, I'll give you a free DVD. You know, we're talking like 5 games, so what is that? Almost like 150, 160 games. $160 worth of games used. But yeah, I got a free $2 DVD out of it. So hopefully it's a good movie, or I'm going to really feel ripped off. Guess that's the way the ball bounces. Thanks for watching, guys. Always appreciate it. Take care. I'll be talking to you real soon.